This is in partnership with Woodford Reserve Bourbon, the Simms Top 40 Quarterback Countdown with 4 more. Buy something you'll want to see Dad open this Father's Day. Woodford Reserve Bourbon. Find your dad's Woodford Reserve bottle at your local retailer or have it delivered today by Drizzly. That's nice.
Bam. That was good for you right there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was real professional.
Thank you. Thanks, Pete.
Man, we pay you.
Pete chimed in, too.
Pretty good.
Is that how it works? All right. You have moved into the top 10. Well, I've been out doing some other things. You've covered a lot of ground.
We have, yep.
We're into the top 10.
Here we go.
I would imagine some people have let you know they're real happy and real upset with some things you've done
I mean,
leading up to this moment.
I can't win. I'm no joke.
Yeah.
When I made Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, top 10.
Yeah,
I
saw that.
thought, man, people are going to like this.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll get as much hate for making them 10 this year.
No.
It might be the worst I've seen
more.
yet. I don't know. It's unbelievable. The guy gets older.
Have you retaliated?
I mean, my retaliation would be simple. I'd be like, I want to be like, did you watch the first 12 games of the year last year? So off with you thinking him being higher than that. Did you see his team, the best team in football? Oh, that's right. Off once again. Did you see the NFC Championship game where there was almost one of the biggest meltdowns we've seen out of any quarterback in a championship game ever? If they lost that game, we'd all be going, I don't know. Brady might not have it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does he still have it? Do you think he can really do it? I mean, that's where we were at. But now people want me to rank him at 2 or 1. Like, get out of here. Like, Pete, tweet that out to everybody. At everybody, get the out of here if you think he's better than 10. Yes,
Pete,
yes.
Yeah, Pete says at
all of Twitter. Just tweet it to Twitter. Go at Twitter. Simms said, shut the up. He's 10.
I know it's trouble with these new mics when you get the grip
arm,
and the F-bombs start coming.
I do. I'm sorry, Kristen.
The heart rate is up.
The F-bombs have been coming plenty today.
Okay, we are set to go 8, 7, 6, and 5.
Yeah.
Good story attached to all of them. At number 8, who's on your mind?
That's right. Matthew Stafford is on my mind. Yeah, Matthew Stafford. You say what you want. I don't give a damn. Go ahead. Start the hate right now. Yep. You know who's going to get the last laugh if you start the hate right now? Me, because he's on a team now, and everybody's going to see what he's really worthy of this year. So I'll get the last laugh because I'm going to go, oh, yeah, you thought it was just him. It's just him. He's the only reason Detroit hasn't gone to the playoffs and wins playoff games. Yeah, right. He still has one of the greatest game-changing arms in the history of the NFL and still one of the best game-changing arms, most explosive arms in the NFL right now at this moment. That's where it starts. You can say what you want, but he does things with his right arm that very few people in this league can do. You know, it's in the echelons of Mahomes, Rodgers, and Josh Allen. It's those far as you just want to talk about crazy, gifted, unbelievable throws that nobody else on the planet can make. That's what he does, and he makes them look so routine and things at times, and because they don't win or go to the playoffs, we just kind of go, huh? But, like, if anybody sat down and watched some film with me and we watched Matthew Stafford, you're going to come away with a lot more plays than you realize to go, holy shit, what a throw. Holy shit, what great movement in the pocket, and then what a throw. And it's just going to be one thing after another, and what you'll slowly start to realize is, like, their team would just be absolute garbage if it's not for him. And that's all there is to be said. So, yes, is he perfect? No. But I think a lot of the problems Matthew Stafford has are team-related, people around him related, offensive scheme-related, and we're in this era of we just blame one guy, and, of course, I don't like that.
Let's stay with that blame thought,
Yeah.
not blaming just him, but, I mean, I think a cynic would push back and say, God, he was there 12 seasons. They never won a single playoff game.
I know.
A lot of issues in the organization,
Sure.
personnel-wise,
Yeah.
coaches coming and going, GM, same thing.
Right.
What part of his game, though, do you look at and say, okay, he wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
This is part of the blame that goes to him
Right.
for over 10 years of pretty mediocre football.
Sometimes maybe overdoing it, crossing the line of like, I'm going to make a play. I'm going to do something right here, right? Did he do that sometimes? There's no doubt.
It's hard not to.
It's hard not to. That's where I want to explain to people. When you know your team's the lesser team and you've lost a few weeks in a row and yet you've played awesome, that next week you could come out and go, I'm going to take a few chances early, and then you're down 14-0. And you're like, damn. They weren't the worst decisions. I just tried to take a few chances to get our team going, and it compounded. And then people go, oh, see, Stafford's got him in the hole. See, this is why he's not a quarter. No, that's not why. There's a lot of context to this situation and what got him there. I can also show you a bunch of games where he's up 14-0, and before you wipe your nose and blink, they're already losing 17-14 because their defense is giving up the lead.
Right.
So there's so much of that, and that's it. But if there's one area, it's that maybe just at times letting the game come to him, maybe. Okay, from that standpoint. But I just come away with, it's as every year, I come away after studying him again in the offseason and going, holy cow. We got to give him more. 12 seasons, like you said.
Yeah.
I know no playoff wins. What up there is what, like you said too, what up there was screaming playoffs and success? What? Tell me what you were thinking that he dropped the ball on not being successful enough. Was it that, NFL altering big time defense? Oh, right. No, it wasn't. Was it that NFL altering big time run game? Oh, that's right. That's never existed since he's been there. Was it the pass protection? No. Was it the weapons? No. Those are good, but not great. So, again, it's too unrealistic that way. And, yes, he had Calvin Johnson. I know he did special things. Unfortunately, we can't name anybody else on the offense at that time except for those two guys, and that's where I get back to.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Well, last thing with the playoff thing.
Yeah.
Been in the playoffs, what was it? Three times, I think.
Yeah.
They lost to the Saints early in his career.
Cowboys once.
That was the game where they called pass interference and then picked up the flag. They're going to win the game.
Right.
So that was the Brandon Pettigrew game.
Yeah.
He can't referee, too. So everybody would sit there and tell you that was a really questionable call.
Yeah.
His other loss up in Seattle in a wild card round a few years ago, hey, he can't catch the ball either.
Right.
I mean, go back and watch it. He made throws and plays in that game to win the game. It was there to be had that night against Seattle. They could have won that game. His team let him down. And so now you go, oh, he's 0-2 in playoffs or 0-3 in playoffs. And I go, yeah, 2 out of the 3 he played really good and they should have won. But he was over one shape or form of another, and that's where we're at. So I'm really ready for him to crap on some people this year.
I think the most interesting part of the story, the one I'm most fired up to talk about, isn't looking back and defending what happened or didn't happen. It's kind of looking ahead to what he's going to be with McVay in that offense. I do want to point out that you had him 9th last year, so you had him in the top 10 even when he was on a team that wasn't very good. So you thinking he's of this caliber didn't take a giant step forward just because he's on a better team now. You thought this before.
I did.
Just wanted to point that out.
Yes, thank you.
So looking ahead to the Stafford and McVay relationship, I remember a number of times sitting here the last couple of seasons when we talked about the Rams. You said McVay is propping up Goff.
Yeah.
He's making him look better.
Right.
What can McVay do now where he doesn't have to, as you said, prop up his starting quarterback?
Yeah, no, I think, he'll still be able to run his normal system and do everything like that, which is going to prop up Matt Stafford because he's going to be like, yeah,
Make
your
him
normal
better
system.
too.
I haven't been in a system this good. This is great. And, so then even within the normal system, he's going to take advantage of some plays that, Jared Goff didn't. Just because, hey, of course he's a better player. He's played more. And then the talent of his arm to where, let's just take one of those famous bootlegs by the Rams, right? Bootleg to the right. Here comes, let's say the fullback in the flat. And on the right sideline, that receiver over there is running the 20-yard comeback, right? A lot of the times that's the route you have on the outside versus that bootleg type thing. If it was close, Jared Goff would probably just go, it's a little too tight. All right, here you go back, or here you go 10-yard crosser. Matt Stafford's going to go close. He's wide open. I'm going to throw a laser and hit him in the numbers. First down. And that's going to put, of course, more pressure on the defense and maybe now make them play some different defenses to take some of those things away. But I think ultimately, like I've always been saying, it's going to open up McVay. Because it's like we always talk about. It's like you hear my dad go, oh, arm strength isn't important, when he starts that whole rant. Of course it is. McVay's going to be able to dial up plays on play action and bootleg where he's just going to go, I couldn't ask Jared to make this throw.
Right.
This guy makes this throw 10 out of 10 times in practice.
Right.
So we're going to do it. And then, whoa, he does that easy. Let's do something else crazier. Let's have him roll out to the right and throw a post corner to the backside of the field, 50 yards on the other sideline. Oh, okay, no problem. He can do it. Whoa, that's a cool part of my offense. So that's, to me, where I think it can be really fun this year.
Whose life improved most with this deal, McVay or Stafford?
I think Stafford.
Yeah.
I do. McVay, as we can see, is very happy in the fact that he had to put that back in the bottle and be like, well, I'm not too happy. Come on. Who cares? Right. But, yeah, I think it is him, ultimately. And, as you could tell, I hold the guy in high regard. I really do. You know, what about that team last year said they were supposed to be any better than what they were? You know, that's the thing. He's plays through injury. He's always beat up. He's always getting hit. Pass protection was never something that was popular there in Detroit, and running game. Oh, great. I get to play a quarterback on a team that not a great offense. We don't run the ball. We don't protect. That's awesome. Let me sign up for that. I mean, people are unrealistic in what they expect sometimes. And I'll say this, last thing I'll say before we move on to the next guy. I mean, there he is, early December, week 13. They're playing the Bears, and they win the game. They beat the Bears because of Matt Stafford and his unreal arm. I mean, that's why they do it. They were down, and they come back because he just makes some throws that you just go, man, there's only 2 or 3 guys in the league that do that. So there they are. That game gets over. They're 5-7. The Bears are 6-6. The Lions aren't even in the same stratosphere as far as talent on the field of the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears had everything except really the quarterback. And okay, the offensive line's not great. It's maybe a little below the middle of the road, but everything else is there. To where I just would go like, man, if you switch quarterbacks, I can promise you that one team would have been 6-6.
Right.
And that one team wouldn't have been 5-7.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just a point that jumped out to me. And I know they fell apart at the end of the year. But, and again, anybody that was watching those games, you can't sit here and tell me it was Stafford's fault.
Right.
I mean, he wiped his nose and blinked twice, and he was down 40-0 against the Buccaneers the day before Christmas. They have issues across the board why he was there.
Thinking of that, before I move on, I have one final thought about him. You know, he dealt with decade plus in Detroit this feeling of having to do too much. Boy, if I'm not awesome because our defense isn't great, our team isn't great, we are not going to win this game.
Yeah.
He leaves that behind. Now you're supposed to win 11, 12, 13 games. You're supposed to have success in January.
Sure.
You leave behind one rotten feeling that can make you play a certain way to pick up another one that's brand new for him.
I know.
I mean, he had it at Georgia, but that was a long time ago.
It's going to be an adjustment.
Yeah.
There is. And, it's going to be an adjustment a little bit to where he's just going to go, wait, I don't have to be crazy here. We got Aaron Donald. We got a defense. We can run the ball. I don't have to, we're down 14-3, and I don't have to, scramble and try to throw some laser down the middle into a tight window that, it could be good, but it could be an interception, and now we're down 21-3. That's where he's going to have to, go, wait, this is different here. I got a coach, a team around me. It's not all about me and everything that way.
And if we lose 2 in a row, it's not okay.
No, if you don't. He's going to have more pressure on him as far as expectations, for sure. But I think this is going to be a wanted pressure, a relief of not having to do it all himself and having that support system.
A welcome feeling.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew Stafford there at number 8.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.